Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sister. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a 32-year-old woman. I left Zim. This was in the year 2016 when I came here to South Africa to start a brand new life. I found a job when I came here. Then I made some friends. Eventually, I met this man, but the problem was that when I met this man, he was a married man. At first, I tried to keep my distance, knowing that it was wrong for me to get involved with a man that was married. But the more that I spent time with him, the more that I fell for him. He started telling me about his problems that he was encountering in his marriage, how unhappy he was, how his wife did not even understand him at all. So he said, I convinced myself that I was totally different and I could make him to be more happy, more than what his wife could ever do. And I thought that I was able to satisfy him. So I said, let me get closer to him just a little bit. Before long, we had already started having an affair. The reason as to why I wanted him, it was because he was everything that I had ever wanted in a partner. Even though I knew that he was a man that was married, I told myself that it was okay. At that time, I was already staying with another guy whom I did not consider as my husband because he had once gone home and he had paid just a little bit part of my bride price, but he had not finished paying it up. That is why I do not consider him as my husband. Me and that guy, we had met here in South Africa as well, but I was doubting him because he could not offer me the kind of life that I wanted. He could not afford to because of the type of a job that he was doing. He was a carpenter and he used to do some tiling as well. He would go around, then he was doing these fitted wardrobes and stuff like that. The money that he was making, maybe to other women out there, maybe they can say that it was enough. But as for me, it was never enough. I wanted money, a lot of money. I wanted money that could quickly change my life. So when I got close to this man, I felt that it was far, far much better for me and him to start dating. He promised me that he was going to leave his wife. This was when we went to Zim together. I went with him to my parents, even though my parents had accepted part of the money for my bride price that had been paid for by my boyfriend, the one that I had left in South Africa. But my parents said it did not matter. This man, he seemed to have a lot of money, so they told me that I needed to carry on with this relationship that I was involved in. But when I went home, I refused to go with my poor boyfriend. I lied to him that there was something that I needed to do back home in Zim, and I planned it in such a way that whenever he would give me money, then I would go and buy expensive clothes, because by the time that my other boyfriend said that we were supposed to go to Zim, we only had 1,000 rands, me and my other boyfriend. So I told him that the money was not going to be enough for the both of us to go to Zim. But what he did not know was that when I left South Africa going to Zim, I actually had some money, the money that had been given to me by my boyfriend. So we were also using his car. So at that time we went, and then I introduced him to my parents. And he did not know that I was going with this boyfriend of mine. So when we were going to Zim, this boyfriend of mine, he promised me that he was going to leave his wife for me. But when we returned back home, that was when I saw that this guy, he was not dumping his wife like he had promised me to do. As the months went by, nothing seemed to be changing. I grew impatient and I was desperate. I wanted him to myself. I could not stand the thought of him being with his wife each and every time when we would leave work going back home. I'll keep on thinking about all the times that we would be making love, and I'll say, so this is what he will be doing with his wife tonight. This made me to feel really jealous. So I did something that I never thought that I would do. I went to a traditional healer, and when I went to this traditional healer, it was because there was this other woman, a friend of mine, who was giving me bad advice. She once told me that when she was having problems in her marriage, she had gone to that traditional healer. So I ended up going to that traditional healer as well, and the healer promised me that she could make his wife disappear from our lives for good. So I never knew that when a traditional healer tells you that they are going to make a person to disappear, then it means that the person is going to die. I was then given a potion and some instructions on what to do. I followed them exactly. Not long after that, the wife then fell ill. She started with the headaches, and by the end of 2022, the wife passed away. He was devastated, but I was happy. I thought that I was the one who had won, and now that he was going to be mine, but things did not go as we expected. After the wife had passed away, then we moved in together, and I dumped that other boyfriend of mine in such a painful way, so much that he wanted to end his life. But I told myself that this was the time for me time to move on with my new husband. We then started staying together. He went to Zim and he paid for my bride price. My parents were happy. We returned back to South Africa. We tried to start a new family, but nothing happened. Month after month, I have been praying to fall pregnant, but nothing is working. I don't know, Brother Nashi, if you have any traditional healer that you know. I have heard you sharing some confessions. Some of the people that you have been sharing their confessions, I have heard you saying that they are Satanist. I am willing to join Satanism so that I can fall pregnant. That is all that I am asking for. If the devil is listening, the devil, you can take my soul as long as you give me the opportunity to fall pregnant. I have tried to go to different doctors, and deep down I feel that I am being punished by God because of what I did. The guilt of what I have done, it really breaks my heart. So if it is God that is punishing me, who is going to save me? That is why I say maybe the devil can save me. I know that I took another woman's life. The more that I try to ignore, the more painful it becomes. And now we are always fighting. Me and my husband, we are always fighting. You know that when there is no child in a marriage, then you will keep on fighting and fighting. So I really need your assistance. If you know anyone, if you know any traditional healer, any herbalist, Satanist, magician, pastor, or whatever, I just want help. I just want someone to help me right now. Please post my story and hide my identity. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Please let us try to talk with her in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.